Now to understand probability, we should know what is sample space and event. So basically sample is the set of all possible outcomes and it is denoted by S. Then event is the subset of sample space and it is denoted by E. Now probability is the likelihood of an event and it is given by number of ways anything can happen or number of events in favor divided by total number of outcomes or total number of events. Now let's see each of these with an example. So we will see the classical case of flipping a coin. You flip a coin once. So what are the possible outcomes? Either a head or a tail. So this will be our sample space, which is the set of all possible outcomes. Now we wish to find the probability of head. So head and tails are two possible outcomes, which are a subset of our sample space. Hence these are called events. So we have two possible events. Finally, probability of head can be calculated simply by using the above formula. That is, events in favor is equal to 1 and total number of events is equal to 2. Therefore, probability will be 1 by 2. So this was pretty straightforward. Now let's say we flip the same coin twice. So the possible outcomes would be first flip of coin gets head and second gets tail. Second could be both flips get heads. Third could be both flip gets tail. And last fourth one would be tails on the first flip and heads on the second flip. So these are the only possible outcomes. Hence this will be called as sample space. Now event would be its subset, which could be head or tail, or head or head, or tail or tail, or tail or head. And the probability will be given as follows. Let's say for the event head tail, it would be 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 is equal to 1 by 4. Because in each flip, event in favor would be 1 and total events would be 2. And we have flipped the coin twice. So it will get multiplied. So that is what sample space, event and probability are. Now all the possible events put together are called collectively exhaustive events, which basically equals to the sample space. Then the second toss of the coin is not dependent on the first toss. Hence such events are called independent events. Similarly, we can get either head or a tail. So both cannot happen at the same time. And this is called mutually exclusive events. Now let's say we are interested in finding the probability of the event in which we get tail as the outcome of both the tosses. So our event is tail in both the flips. And rest of the events are called complementary events. So these were few basic definitions. Now let's move on to the next topic. So here we will see different ways of using probability. Now you really don't have to remember this. This is just to make you acquainted with the concepts. So first we have classical probability, which is given by the number of events in favor divided by total number of events. It is computed before the experiment and also called as priori, such as computing the probability of getting the number 5 on rolling a 6-sided dice. Then we have relative frequency probability, which is computed after an experiment. So basically where we cannot apply the theoretical probability and have to run the experiment, such as probability of rain using the past data, etc. That is called relative frequency probability. It is given by number of times event has occurred divided by total number of trials. And the third one is subjective probability, which is basically intuition or reasoning, such as expert advice for site selection for opening a restaurant or introducing a product based on its requirement, etc. Now there are 4 types of probabilities. First is marginal probability, which is basically classical probability that we just saw. Then we have union, which means probability of occurrence of x or y and is given by the formula probability of x plus probability of y minus probability of x and y. This is called law of addition of probability. Then we have joint probability, which is the opposite of the union. This is the probability of x intersection y, which means the probability of occurrence of x and y, and is given by px dot py by x, which is also equal to py dot px by y. Now this is called law of multiplication of probability. Here px by y is called probability of occurrence of x given that y has occurred. This is also the fourth type of probability, that is called conditional probability. So conditional probability of x given y has occurred is given by probability of x intersection y, which means probability of occurrence of x and y divided by probability of x. Now this formula is called law of conditional probability. So that is it. These were the types of probabilities.